What's up, oddballs? Welcome back to a very special episode of the Oddity Shop podcast, where we usually tell you creepy, odd, weird, strange stories from around the world. But this time, after months and months and months and months of begging for listener write-ins and voicemails, we're reading your oddball stories back to you. Hello, curator Kara.
Those are still stories from around the globe.
They are. We're just not the ones telling. It's not us telling you. It's you telling us.
All right.
How are you?
I am fantastic. You'll never guess what I did today.
Stole the Declaration of Independence.
I wish. Okay, so I shared with Zach a few days ago that my health app thing told me that what did it say? My resting heartbeat had dropped at least 8, whatever, basically saying that I lowered stress.
And we're so proud of you.
I am very proud. I started crying and I sent it to Zach and I'm like, you might think this is stupid, even though I know he doesn't, but I'm like, I am just so proud because I've been really trying to reduce my stress. So anyway, I bought 4 books.
Ooh, what books?
I don't have them by me. I can't tell you. 2 of them, when I was listening to Morbid this morning, they recommended 2 books. And I was like, you know what? Let me do that because Elena is an author and I love her books. So if she has a book recommendation, I'm going to go read it. And then Target had buy 2 books, get 1 free.
So are they self-help-ish books?
No,
or is this more just fun reading?
Vampires, a witch one.
Oh, I didn't know if it was in line with
shit.
lowering your
I'm
heart
just saying,
rate.
but reading reduces stress.
There you go.
Well, I had bought 1 book last week and I've been reading that. So when I saw that Target had buy 2 books, get 1 free, I'm like, okay, well, they recommended 2 books. And then so I just kind of picked 1 book out. So that's what I've been trying to do.
You'll have to give us a little book review at the beginning of the episodes.
Girl, I'm not Julia. Julia should come on here and give us all her book reviews because that girl
there we go.
Reads.
She was just reading one that she said we should read called Never Whistle in the Dark. And it's all folklore
Did I not
stories.
tell you that? I've always said don't whistle in the dark to you. And you're like, why?
Oh, I thought you meant about the book. I'm like, no, you've never told me about that book.
But that sounds amazing. And I will actually look that up and read it because that sounds really good.
There you go.
Okay. Well, that's me. You?
What do I have? I just had, I know it's a couple weeks after it when this comes out, but the really nice 4th of July weekend up north, hanging out with Mark and Denise, the awesome parents, and my sister.
And your sister doesn't have a name.
Oh, Emily.
Hey, Emily.
And my brother-in-law, Sean.
There you go.
No,
Jesus.
It was nice. We had a nice, really just kind of chill, relaxing weekend. And I kayaked a bunch and I got super sunburnt.
And you failed the hot dog challenge.
I did. I had a goal this year of eating 11. Last year I did 9. And
I thought last year was 10.
Last year was 9. I went up a couple. Oh. And I only got to 7 before I hit a wall. But I also, Dad made chicken and pork on the Blackstone. I couldn't say no. I didn't have that dog in me. But you and Delilah did come to the rescue and each had 1. So I appreciated that.
We had corn dogs, but still.
So as the Oddity Shop, we had 9.
Yeah, it was fine. All right. Well,
We're getting into it. All right. What's our first story?
Let me get a drink of water because this is a long one.
Whoo-wee. I'll drink with you in solidarity there.
You just had a smoke. It's fine. Had a puff.
I just sat here and drank my water.
Oh, I thought I literally was paying attention. I thought you vaped.
No, I was drinking in solidarity.
Good job. All right. This write-in is from Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Are you ready? Now he's puffing.
You said it now.
All right. Hey, guys. I recently stumbled across your podcast thanks to Lauren the Mortician. Wait, that's awesome. I did not read this, you guys. That's so cool. I just listened to your podcast about the digital afterlife and mysterious messages from beyond. This really hit home as I have had a similar experience I would love to share with y'all.
I love that episode too. That was such a creepy, good one.
Ooh. Okay. March 27th, 2008, my grandfather suffered a massive heart attack and required emergency quadruple bypass surgery at the hospital where I happened to be doing clinicals for my physical therapy. Oh, God. Can you imagine? Ooh. The early morning hours of 3/28, they had to reopen his chest to fix a leak as he was losing too much blood. Then, after the next day, they pulled out his breathing tube and he had a stroke. About a week after that, he experienced respiratory failure and required CPR to bring him back to life. By this time, he had a I can't say
tracheostomy.
Thank you. Performed and also had a feeding tube placed. His body was very sensitive to the tube. This is important later. He was recovering well, and on April 18th, he was set for a transfer to the transitional care unit, kind of like a skilled nursing facility within the hospital. After my clinical, like every day he was there, I visited him before I left for the day. That's actually nice, though, that you were there so that you could do that. Oh, God.
I hate to say it this way, but you don't have to go out of your way to do it. It makes it very convenient for him to have somebody there. Yeah.
Exactly. I had a Dr. Pepper with me, and he kept gesturing that he wanted a drink. I told him, no, Pops, you can't have this. I'm sorry. But I promise when you get out of here, we will have a beer together. I'm going to start crying. Okay.
Hold it together.
That seemed to cheer him up as he grinned and shook his head yes. Nurses then came in the room and told me that he was switching units, and the new unit would want to do an assessment on him when he got there. So I told them I loved him and I would see him tomorrow, gave him a kiss, and left. The next morning, my mom calls me in a panic, stating that Pops is in terrible condition and I need to get there right away. Unbeknownst to us, the new unit had changed his tube to another brand, which caused him to go into organ failure, respiratory distress, and another heart attack. Long story short, he passed away shortly after I arrived. Okay, but he held on to see you.
That's so terrible. That is true.
Oh, y'all are trying to make me cry. Okay.
The tears are welling up in her eyes for anybody who cannot see. I'm really
crying. I keep looking up and like opening my eyes wide so I can't cry. Okay. I was completely shocked, devastated, and heartbroken. My mom, her siblings, and all my cousins went over to my uncle's house, but I went home instead to be by myself. I felt super guilty for leaving him the night before and not staying because I was going to meet up with friends. That is not your fault.
No, that is 100% on the hospital.
Oh, God. Maybe I could have caught the mess up. Anyway, I laid down in my couch and I tried to fall asleep. I tossed and turned, unable to sleep, so I just laid there motionless, staring at the ceiling. Oh, God, I have goosebumps. My cell phone chimed. A text had been received. I literally have full body goosebumps. I looked at my phone and it was from my Aunt Laura, who is married to my mom's brother, whose house everyone was at. I opened the message and it was a picture of a single Bud Light beer in a cooler with watered down ice in it. I thought, oh, that's weird, and decided to drive over and be with everyone. I get to their house and I asked my aunt what was up with the picture she texted me. She had no idea what I was talking about. I showed her my phone and she says, I didn't send that. I don't even know how to use the camera on this phone, let alone to send a picture from it.
Oh my God.
Mind you, this was about the time cell phones just started having cameras on them as standard. I checked her phone, 0 pictures and 0 text messages to me.
That is so wild.
Then it dawned on me, my grandpa drank Bud Light. This was his way of communicating with me about having that beer together when he got out of the hospital. Because he was actually out of the hospital.
And I think too, like, that was the way it came from the aunt's phone was like a way to get her to get out of her head and go be with the family.
Exactly. Because if it would have came like, say, from his phone, it would have been a different story. So,
right.
Oh my God. It still chokes me up to this day to share this experience. I had the picture.
We're choked up too.
I can't. I had the picture saved in an old email for years, but it has since been deactivated. So I lost the picture. Oh, I really wish I would have done more due diligence to keeping it safe, or that it would be mysteriously sent to me again. I have other stories similar to this with loved ones communicating via electronics if you'd like to hear them. Hello, why did you not sound them?
Yeah, no, Jamie, we want to hear them, all of them, in fact.
Oh my God. You can use the story as you'd like.
Wow, thank you, Jamie, because that's a deep one for sure.
Of course.
But no, it is.
So that mixes both of our episodes, the call beyond the grave and then the email one, kind of.
Yes.
It's like a text message, video or whatever, or picture message.
It's interesting how spirit has the ability to like manipulate electronics. And I think we've seen enough of it now that it's like.
But I love what you said, because it's like it came from the aunt. So it's kind of like it was almost like a hey, a nudge, like a little thing like, hey, come on over. We're celebrating.
Right. It's time to be with fam.
Yeah. And if it would have came like from him, it would have been more of like a freak out. Oh, I'm just chilling up so hard.
Whew.
It would have been more of like a holy shit type of deal versus her just going there, having fun with her family to celebrate his life. And then being like, oh, I did say when he got out of that hospital, I was going to have that beer. Oh.
And Jamie, I'm so sorry that you don't have that picture anymore, but if it ever would make it up to you, we'll have a Bud Light with you. You reach out to us.
I would 100%. Where are you? Where do you live? Do you know what I would do if I were you? I don't know if you're a tattoo person. This is so what I would do. What I would do is I would get like a Polaroid. I would get a tattoo that looks like a Polaroid picture.
Yes.
And then a Bud Light can in it.
In an like empty cooler or a watered down cooler.
No, I think I would just do the Bud Light can in a like Polaroid looking picture.
There you go.
Whatever. Do whatever you want.
Perfect.
I think that'd be so freaking cute. Somebody draw that for Jamie. Put it in the comments.
Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate
I love that.
you.
Thank you so much. And I love it that you found us from Lauren. That's so fun.
All right. You ready for the next one? This is...
Give it to me.
A listener voicemail.
Oh, hell. Let's go.
Have their voice going. This is from Jennifer. So we're going to drop that in right now. Hey, Kara, have you ever wanted to take your spiritual practice to the next level?
Oh, absolutely. And if you're looking for something that feels truly magical and not mass produced, you have to check out My Mystical Forest.
My Mystical Forest is like stepping into your own enchanted sanctuary. They offer handmade spiritual tools crafted with care, intention, and so much heart.
We're talking tarot card holders that make your readings feel elevated, pendulum boards that bring clarity, and spirit boards to deepen your connection.
And don't forget the incense burners to set the perfect vibe, plus crystal trays to arrange and organize all your favorite stones. Everything is a labor of love made from hand-selected hardwoods.
Whether you're a seasoned spiritual practitioner or just starting your journey, My Mystical Forest has the tools to empower and inspire.
Unlock the magic for yourself and seek harmony. Visit mymysticalforest.etsy.com. That's M-I Mystical Forest. And find the heirloom quality pieces that speak to your soul.
Also, for our little oddballs, for a limited time, enter code ODDBALL at checkout to receive 10% off plus a free pendulum, or simply use the link down in the show notes.
Goodbye.
Okay, so I moved to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and I am a wildlife photographer, and I decided I saw some really cool sports photos on TikTok. And so I decided I was going to buy some off-camera flash and try to recreate these TikTok photos that I've seen. So I made my kid go outside, and we made some really cool sports photos with the fog and all that. Well, I was in clinicals for respiratory therapy, and we got called down for a code blue, and it happened to be the only sports photographer in our area. Well, I had this really crazy feeling that he wasn't going to make it, and I had a feeling that my phone was going to blow up after that, which I wasn't ready because I was a wildlife photographer, and I wasn't trying to pursue anything with dealing with the public. So unfortunately, that person passed away. I'm going to call him Mr. Black, and honestly, that's what happened to me is my phone blew up, and I started getting all these bookings and people wanting me to do all these sports photos. So some weird feeling came over me that I needed to call Mr. Black's wife. I had no idea. I've never met her. I don't even know why. I don't even know what I was going to even say to this woman. She just lost her husband, and I just kept having this feeling that I needed to call her. So I got a phone number from somebody, and they told me that that was her number. So it took me a couple of days, but I finally sat down, and I was ready to call her. So I called the number, and I didn't even know what I was going to say to her, but ended up being disconnected. So I decided, well, maybe it's just not that time. So 3 days later, she calls me. I didn't even know if she knew who I was because, like I said, I just moved here from downstate. And she asked me to come over. Okay, so here's part two because I didn't know if I was at my 3 minutes. So Mr. Black's widow has me come over to her house, and we sit down. I have no idea what this is going to be about or what it's going to be like, but she just told me that she's heard all about me and she feels like she wanted to meet me. And we seriously sat there and cried and laughed, and we totally bonded. And she said, well, I want to give you something. So she takes me back to his office, and she gave me his printer. And I'm telling you, this thing is giant. It's a giant photo printer. And she blessed me, like, she just felt like that he would have wanted her to do this. And ever since then, her and I have been super close, and I feel him with me all the time when I'm doing all these sports photos, and it's definitely some big shoes to fill. But I just think it's kind of interesting how I was there when he passed away, and I had those feelings of connecting with this woman, and now we have an amazing bond, and she tells me she's my adopted grandma. But I just thought I'd share that story with you.
That is so weird to me.
Okay.
And the way that, like, it seems like two such, like, disconnected things, but somehow it feels like maybe you were finding your calling with the photos more, and he just kind of gave you that push.
That, but also, like, it's kind of like reincarnation to me, but not from birth.
Oh, okay.
Like, he died, and then she took over his, like, I don't know if I want to say legacy, but, like, and that's why there's such a bond with her and his wife.
I also love that I don't know how she got Jen's number, right? But how, like, it's almost like he facilitated, you were new to the area. Like, she needed a friend, obviously she's lost her husband, like, kind of facilitated a
goosebumps.
Oh, good little relationship. Oh, I love that.
That's so sweet, though, because that printer probably holds him in it. You know what I mean? In some way. And so he's probably, like, she said, like, kind of watching over and, like, guiding, like, the photos. Like,
I like it. We kind of got, like, that technology trend going so far. We do.
So first, though, when I was first listening, I thought she said not sports photos. I thought she said stork photos. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. Is this going to be a bird? And then I was like, oh, sports. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, as long as it's not sandhill cranes.
I know, that's what I was thinking though for you. And then, like, I was, like, so engrossed in the voicemail that she said, like, I'm thinking my phone's going to blow up. I thought she actually meant that her physical phone was going to fucking blow up.
Like,
and then I was like, oh no, blow up.
Too literal, Kara. Too literal.
You idiot. I was, like, really into the voicemail though. That was crazy though. I love that. Thank you. That's a fun one. Yeah. I wonder if the rest of our stories are going to be electronic related.
We'll see.
Okay. So this next one comes from Spooky. No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
It does.
This is an alias one.
Okay. It comes from Spooky Scary Skeleton.
Yes. The Spooky Scary Skeleton wrote this one. I love it.
So the subject is wacky funeral experience. Okay, we already talked about Lauren the Mortician, so let's see if this is something like that. All right. I was going to say this looks like a short one, and it literally says, this is a short little story. I was at a funeral when it started. While there, I could have sworn someone tapped me on my side.
Nope. Mm-mm.
When I look around, no one was close enough to me to have done it. On the drive home, I noticed some red on my thigh. I discovered 2 scratches, one around 4 to 5 inches and running up my thigh, and another shorter one, 1 inch closer to my knee. And they were, I'm sorry, this is really throwing me off. That's so scary.
I don't know if I think it's scary.
Okay.
We'll finish it up and then let's discuss.
And they were deep scratches, like they should have been stinging or maybe bleeding, but instead the area was numb, kind of trippy. Okay, what's your thought? Just somebody trying to get their attention?
I think that's exactly it. And I think even in the way this is written, it's written as wacky funeral experience. So even the person who wrote this doesn't seem to be afraid of it. And I think this is one of those things where when spirit is trying to give us a sign, especially if this is the person they were visiting who is a rather fresh spirit,
they don't know.
They might not know how to communicate yet. And what if, you're just trying to put your hand on their leg and you end up scratching or something like that? Like, and it doesn't seem that the person took it as like a horrifying experience or anything.
Yeah, I know you haven't watched Supernatural, but this is just coming to my head. There's this whole thing about like the longer you're a spirit, the better you can like actually like do things and like pick things up and hold things. The fresher spirits like don't have that much of an ability, so they kind of like do stuff like this, or they need to attach themselves to an object that was theirs, and that's the only way that they're able to come along with you. So that kind of makes sense. Yeah, like, actually it does.
You gotta get used to not having a body, I imagine.
Well, yeah, because you've never had to like tap into those quote unquote abilities. Like your just soul is just souling around, you know. You're soloing around.
All right, spooky scary skeleton, if you have a follow-up, have you had any more interactions since this one? Because I know we got this right in a little while ago, so if you got that follow-up, you got to hit us with it,
please. Okay, so we have another voicemail.
I'm loving this. I love hearing your guys' voices on here too. We need more of the voicemails. We hear enough of it. All right. I got to edit it all.
Yeah. This is from Kaylee. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hi, Zach and Kara. This is Kaylee from Portage. And I wanted to start off with saying thank you so much for the shout out on your last episode. I literally was so happy. That meant so much to me. I have fallen in love with your guys' podcast ever since I listened to Lunar Lunacy, because I'm obsessed with the moon, and I was sold ever since then. And I was actually recommended that episode by some old family friends of yours, Zach, if you remember James and Raquel Russell. And I've been working with him doing modeling for his photography for a few years now. I know his kids, Sean and Sarah, and I just thought I would share that with you because it's just so cool how small the world is sometimes. But really why I'm calling today is because I listened to your Shadow People and sleep paralysis episode, and I have a few sleep paralysis stories of my own to share. And as a little side note, before I get into some of those stories, I do see shadow cats sometimes, Zach, so don't always write them off. I strongly believe that I am seeing my childhood cat, Olivia, and it always just warms my soul when I see her. Definitely a lot less terrifying than some of my sleep paralysis episodes are. I have been having sleep paralysis since 2017 when I left for college when I was about 18 years old. And I've been having them on and off ever since then. And in that whole time, I've never actually seen the Hat Man or the old hag. I've seen many different shadow people and even a clown once, but never the Hat Man or the old hag. So I think that's really interesting. I wonder why it's different for everyone or why I saw some of the things that I saw, which I'll get into more in part 2 when I send that to you guys, because I've definitely had some really spooky stories that make me even question if it's sleep paralysis. But every time I do get sleep paralysis, I have the same exact feeling in my body overall. It's not always just a weight on my chest. I feel it start in my legs and in my arms, where my whole body can't move. I can't scream or anything. It's so bizarre. And I can't wait to share some of those stories with you. So I'll call you back and let you guys hear about those in part 2. So whenever I get sleep paralysis episodes, it's not always just a weight or a pressure I feel on my chest. I can feel the paralysis set in first through my legs, then up through my arms, my whole body to where I can't scream, move, or anything, right? And there was one instance where the paralysis set in, and I looked around my room, and it was filling with water. And I could feel my body being dragged into the water, thrashed around. I couldn't breathe as if I was drowning. But looking at my physical body, I wasn't moving. I was fully stuck in paralysis. But I felt all the sensations of drowning. So that one was definitely really scary. But these next two still give me chills. I was over at a friend's house one night, and I was sleeping in her bed with her. And I had the side that faced out into the rest of her room. And there was a window further down the wall on the same wall where my head was facing. And there was a white curtain on the window that started billowing in the room from the wind. And in the fabric of that curtain was a sheer woman in white. And she started moving from the end of the curtain up to the window. And when she got to the window, she turned her head, looked at me, and I felt her pounce onto me and crush my body and start whispering incoherently into my ear. And it went on like that for a few minutes. I got up after it stopped, checked the window, and it wasn't open. There was no way the curtain could have been moving, so that one freaked me out. And this last one still gets me too. I used to sleep with one AirPod in my ear for some music, and as I was falling into sleep, I could hear out of my other ear in the bathroom, like the bathtub water sounded to be like bubbling and thrashing, and then all of a sudden in the ear that had my music playing, the music stopped. I heard a little girl whispering, again incoherently, I couldn't tell what she was saying, but as soon as the whispering started, I felt like I was being lifted out of my body, yet I could still see in my paralysis that it was not moving, but it felt like I was being told to sit up, and as soon as I was sitting or feeling like I was sitting upright, it stopped. So I'm not sure what those were. Definitely creeped me out. It seems a little bit different from like typical sleep paralysis, but I thought I'd share those stories with you guys because I get chills. But thank you guys again, and if you need me to type out these stories instead of doing voicemail, I can certainly do that. So take care. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Well, that was a journey.
Whoa. That's a lot.
First off, she caught me off guard when she said sometimes she says a clown.
I was thinking about that. What was the hobo clown?
I don't remember, but listen, no.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not. And what is it with her and water?
I don't know, but I love that you, like, those are all horrifying experiences that you just read in the most bubbly voice ever.
She really did.
Like,
I was like, what are we? I'm like horrified listening, but then
that's
also
how you
I'm
know
like,
it happens to her a lot.
Yeah, she's just like used to it. That's so funny though, how she knows people that like, that's so crazy.
And no, Kaylee, keep calling them in. Do not have to write them out or anything like that. We love hearing it. And also love the Russells, so thanks for the shout out for them because they are amazing human beings, and I do love the small world of it.
It is such a small world, but I'm like that was like all over the place. But also what I do want to say is like, because she made it a point to say that she's like, it's not typical sleep paralysis, but
right,
I think if you actually look into sleep paralysis, people just pick out the more commonality of it all. So I don't think that it's not typical, if that makes sense. Now, what I do think that maybe,
I mean, is there anything typical in the paranormal? Let's be for real.
But what I do think that we could get from this is that this might not be like the scientifical, whatever, clinical version of sleep paralysis, where this might just actually be something else. Like this really could be visitations,
all just straight up paranormal.
Yeah, sorry, girl.
Oh. If you ever kind of figure out what the messages they're trying to relay, let us know. But also, I wonder why it started, like it didn't start till she went to college either.
Oh, yeah. I kind of forgot about it. I don't know. That's so weird. But I'm wondering what the water is, because two of those stories were water, like her drowning and then the bathtub. So I'm like, what is it? Is there something that you're like suppressing about water?
Or like a family thing?
Yeah. Ooh, you should look into that.
Yes. Let us know. If you do look into it, we have to know what you find out.
And also, if you want to write more stuff into us, you can too.
Please. We always need more. We love doing these. We love sharing your stories back. We need more of it.
This is more fun. I like it.
Okay. So that was it. We had 2 voicemails, 2 stories for you this week. We already have one on deck. So with that being said, call in, write in. If it's any of our prompts from our episodes, awesome. If you just want to share your own spooky, odd, weird, strange, bizarre tale, share that as well, because we love
Honestly,
you guys.
I think people overthink what we're asking. You can tell us anything, even if you don't think it's paranormal, if it's just like a conspiracy that you've thought, even if it's about your grandma, if it's about like just this weird thing about your family. Like it does not have to be.
What's the weirdest thing you believe in?
Right. It doesn't have to be like this theatrical thing. And I think that's where our listeners are probably stopping themselves from sharing some of their things. It does not have to be that. I promise you. We talk about so many things in this podcast. We will literally read anything. We want to hear everything that you guys have to tell us, truly.
I second all that.
Yeah. And like I was just telling Zach today, I reached out to our good friend Lauren Hans because while we were recording, I said, I just have this feeling all day that I've needed to text her And I have to stop pushing those away, even if you get stuff like that. And then I text her and she's like, girl, yeah, I just had to set some crazy boundaries with somebody. Thanks for checking in. And I'm like, I got you, boo boo. So even if you get weird stuff like that and it just
trust your intuition.
Happens,
but then tell us about it.
Yeah, let us know. Even if you got some tea, if you have some family dirt, we don't have to share. You can just email us.
Okay, now Kara just wants to hear all your nosy. Or she's just being nosy. I want to hear all the little stories.
No, they hear everything about us. I want to hear about our listeners.
Very true.
And if you want it to be like, don't share, we won't share it. Just let us know.
All righty. Well, there we go. You guys know what you have to do for us. We would love it. And what else do we need to do to close out this little bonus episode?
Well, what I do want to add is that I've been working really hard on our TikToks. So if you don't already follow us on TikTok, follow us on TikTok because I've been doing a lot of
She's
work.
going to train me soon, guys. Don't worry.
It's okay. He doesn't want to do it. And it's all right. I think it's fun. But yes, I'm going to make him do some stuff. But I've been working hard on TikTok. So if you have a TikTok, follow us, but also follow us on all the other things. But the most important thing you can do for us is to creep a really little oddballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.